Hi everyone. This is Victor Zhang from Alpha Volley. Thanks very much for inviting me to the Chaintalk. And today I'd like to share with you something about the crypto wallet. And we will mainly talking about three things. What is a crypto wallet and why it is important, and also what you can use it for now, and of course also what you can use it for future. It feels a little bit weird speaking to a screen, but I will try to make myself comfortable. So before we start the topic, I just quickly introduce myself and also our team, Alpha Volley. So we have been working on blockchain. The team has been working on blockchain since 2011. So we actually forked the Bitcoin code 3 times for different business partners. And after Ethereum come up, we did 7 architect work for different Ethereum project. And then we joined the Commonwealth Bank, which is the largest finance institution in Australia. So within the bank, our CTO lead the architect for those bank blockchain project. And also he used to be one of the global architect for R3 Coda. So we have a lot of experience on infrastructures, blockchain applications, finance related and non-finance related. So we have a good understanding of what is required to use blockchain in a real world environment for different kind of applications. So two and a half years ago, we have this new project called the Alpha Volley, and then we form a startup company to bring out the Alpha Volley together with the tokenization framework called the token script. Okay, so just let's go to our topic. So today I will try a new way to do a presentation, which is not only using the PowerPoint and also using this whiteboard. Yeah, you should be able to see my screen, see the whiteboard. Yeah. So what is a crypto wallet? So basically it is a piece of software, or you can call it as a program, which is managing your public and private keys. Yeah, I just draw a key. So, and of course using those keys to operate the different kind of applications. So basically, no matter what kind of blockchain related application, it will always require on the user side, and no matter the user is an individual, is a business, it will always require the user side have a wallet platform which can interact with the different kind of cryptographic protocols. So let's have a quick look how this crypto wallet works in blockchain. So basically, you can thinking there's two user A and user B. And in the middle, there's blockchain. And on the other side, there's those those miners. Okay. So let's draw a private key for user A. Let's draw a diamond at the end. Because private key is super important for, it's a super important. You should never share it with anyone. So that's why I draw a diamond at the bottom. So that is the private key. And this is the public key. So what exactly inside blockchain? Of course, some informations. We use it as the larger. So there should be like A has 1 ETH. And inside this piece of information, there's also user A's public key information. And there's also, let's draw a private key for the miner. Private key M. So the miner use the private key to sign a block. And inside the block, you can thinking as there's many pieces of this kind of information. So he signed the block. So there will be a lock. Okay, so this block is locked. So basically, after you're doing this, what happened is anyone, of course, inside the block, there's also minus public key. So basically, anyone can read this piece of information and they can get the public key information for both user A and the miner. And with the signature on this block, they can verify whether this block is really signed by the private key from the miner. And by doing this, they can basically verify this piece of information is true, is verifiable. And also because it is signed, no one can really change, no one can change it, because anything changed on this piece of information will break the digital signature. Then let's have a look what happens if user A want to transfer 1 ETH to user B. So basically what he do is he construct a transaction, or you can think it as a piece of information. And inside the information is that A gave B 1 ETH. And this information also including A's public key and also B's public key. And then A uses a private key to sign this information. Same, this information is locked. After that, he broadcast this information into blockchain. Then this piece of information will be included in a block. And this block, of course, will also be signed by a miner. When smart contract on the blockchain or the blockchain software, the node software itself receive this piece of information, they will update the ledger, will update the state in the smart contract. Then it will perform the transfer. So your ETH will go to B. So basically, this is the very, very simple explanation of how we use crypto wallet in blockchain. So basically, it's using the private key to sign message, and then broadcast the public key to all the parties, and then anyone who read the information, they can verify whether this information is really comes from the right private key. But of course, there's other ways to use your private key, which is a very simple use case, like the encryption and the decryption. Let me draw another picture. So this is A, and this is B. So B is private key. Sorry, my drawing is really not that good. B is private key, and this is A's private key. So now A want to send the private end-to-end encrypted message to B. What he can do is he can take B's public key and use this public key to encrypt the message. And then when the message goes to B side, B can use his private key to decrypt the message. So basically, these are the two fundamental functions of using your private key and public key pair. And the crypto wallet is the software which is acting as the user as a user agent to help you to perform all these activities, to perform all these operations. So now we know what is a crypto wallet and what is the basic function of a crypto wallet. Then let's look at why it is important, why it is essential. If we just looking at how we use a crypto wallet for blockchain, it will look like this. So inside in the different layer of blockchain, the bottom one is layer one. You can think it as the blockchain layer. Maybe it's Ethereum or Bitcoin or other kind of blockchains. And then there may be another layer for layer two. Maybe that is for privacy, or maybe that is for scalabilities, like those channel solutions, sidechain solutions, or different kind of solutions. And then on top of this, there can also be different smart contract based protocol, or you can thinking as just different smart contracts. Then on top of this, this can be channel, sidechain, or different layer two, and this can be like Ethereum or different blockchains. And then on this layer is the wallet layer. layer n minus 1. And in the middle between, there can be other different kind of protocols between layer n and layer 1. And layer n, you can think it as application layer. So there's a different application. And then on top of it is, of course, there's user. So basically, you can see no matter what kind of blockchain or what kind of protocols or what kind of smart contracts in the underlayer infrastructure, it will always require to have a crypto wallet for user to operate, for user to use all those applications. So it looks like this. It looks like this. It looks like a two funnel. So on the top, there's a different application. There's users, and then on the bottom, there's a different kind of a protocol and a different kind of infrastructures. So wallet is like the central point. It's like the connecting point to connect all those applications with different kind of infrastructure. And also it is connecting with users, because no matter what kind of application you want to use, you will always require to have a software to help you to manage your private key, to sign the transaction, to broadcast the transaction. Yeah. This is the very, very simple structure for looking at one blockchain application. But actually, it is much more complicated than this. Because for one application, normally it is not only using logic or knowledge from blockchain, from smart contract. It will also require logic and information from other services, from other server, not only from blockchain. So let's draw a more comprehensive one. So user here, application, wallet, smart contract, different layer 2, and different layer 1. So this part A is the blockchain infrastructure. But for an application, it cannot get all the logic or all the knowledge just purely from blockchain. Because blockchain itself, the utility is very limited. It can only, it is a distributed ledger. It can only record the information like what you have, those kind of tradable rights. So there's also a whole bunch of information and logic, which is comes from the traditional application server. And wallet in the middle need to understand both, not only understand the logic inside the smart contract, it also need to understand the logic for particular application, which is related to the logic inside the smart contract. So give you a real world example. The one everyone is very familiar with, maybe just use a DeFi as example. For example, compound. So imagine this is the smart contract for compound, for C-DAI, which you can deposit a DAI into the smart contract and start earning interest for the DAI you deposit in. So to have a full application for user to use all these features, what you have is you have a smart contract here to register who owns DAI, who owns C-DAI, and also what is the transaction rules of DAI and C-DAI. That is like maybe if I put one DAI in, then I can get two C-DAI out. And after a few blocks, if I put the C-DAI back, then I can get 1.01 DAI out. These are the transaction rules. And these things are defined by smart contract. But what is the secure layout for the user to use this smart contract? And where are the code which is using for construct the transaction for smart contract? Because you cannot just asking smart contract by give him a call, say, oh, okay, I want to deposit my DAI into C-DAI. It won't work. You need to have some currently most on Ethereum, that is some JavaScript code. You need to have those code to help you construct a transaction. And then this code construct transaction and then pass this transaction to your wallet. And then your wallet can sign the transaction and then send it back to the smart contract. And then smart contract will perform the state change. So you see, for a full application, only have blockchain is not enough. It will also require logic and information from other side. And this makes the wallet itself a very important and also complex piece of infrastructure, because it's not only understand those smart contract standard, those blockchain protocols, it also need to understand what is the real world business logic, like the logic information here. So this is to briefly explain why the wallet is a very important piece for you, for user, and also for the whole blockchain industry. Let's see. Let's have a. Then let's move to the last topic. What you can use a crypto wallet for now, or what is the crypto wallet looks like for now, and what will be looks like in future. So I list down some questions here. Maybe you never have such question before, because everyone is so used to and very familiar with how current internet application or website works and how people using the internet. But these are some critical questions we actually should asking ourselves. Yeah. So why we need to sign up, or why I need to sign in to use different internet services? Why? And why I can't just use PayPal application to transfer my money in WeChat Pay? Why that is impossible for now? And sometimes I use YouTube a lot, and also I use Apple services as well. I bought a lot of movie from iTunes. then why I can't play those movies in YouTube? And also, since the machine is very efficient on doing those copy pasting things, why I still need to manually copy paste between different kind of internet services? And why it is impossible for me to use a Twitter application to message my friend on Facebook? And people have been talking about the paperless for decades. Why it is still not happen? Why I'm still signing so many paper contracts these days? Why I'm still submitting so many scanned copy to different services? So these are some very detailed questions we should question ourselves. Why we cannot achieve as a user, why I cannot achieve the super convenience? Why not everything on internet, all the digital services, why not they are all integrated together? That is because when we design the internet at very beginning, there's no ownership mechanism. So there's no way for there's also no way to have a digital representative of yourself in the digital world. So that's why for different services, we use username and password to verify yourself to that particular services. And then that service use your user ID as an identifier in their own system. Then they can provide services to you. And also because all different services, they are not integrated with each other. So in PayPal, you know I'm Victor, but in WeChat they know I'm another ID, and they don't speak to each other. And also the thing I have done in PayPal, WeChat don't know what I have done. So basically, it goes to this three important information. So it's basically because because you as a user cannot provide verifiable information like who you are, what you have done to any services. And currently, these information are separate in different services. For example, PayPal can prove PayPal having some information like what I have, and also if I done some KYC with them, then he also have a piece of information about what I have, and also of course all the interaction I did with PayPal. PayPal know what I have done with PayPal, and Facebook same. Facebook know my social relationship with my friend and with other parties, and having those message record who I've speak with, who I have spoken with, and all those informations. And maybe some of this type of information is also in Twitter. So this is what's happening now. So all this kind of information, they are split out into pieces and holding by different services. And under this big platform, there's also other service providers. So when I want to prove to service provider A what I have with PayPal, I cannot prove directly. I have to go through PayPal. Same like Facebook. This is the current internet structure and how we're using all those internet services. But with blockchain, with other cryptographic technologies, and also, of course, the support of crypto wallet, we can, using blockchain, we can prove what I have directly to all these services without going through any this type of platform. And using cryptographic technology like attestation, or you call it a verifiable claim, you can prove who you are directly to these services. And by having what you have done with a particular services also as attestation, you can actually prove what you have done to these services directly without going through those centralized platform. So this will lead to a future like this. Here. We can call all this information, attestation or blockchain-based information, we can call them all as crypto token. They are all crypto token. It's just the technology you are using to tokenize this information is different. For example, as I mentioned, if you want to tokenize tradable rights, then blockchain is the best technology. And if you want to tokenize your identifier, like your real world identity, those things, those related things, then attestation is the right technologies. So basically, on this screen, on the left-hand side is the existing model, which is integration is happening on those big platform. No, sorry, I forgot to share this. Yeah, so this is what I just quickly drawed. So basically, all these informations like what you have done, what you have, and who you are, they all can be tokenized into crypto tokens, and then all those crypto tokens can be stored locally on your side, on the user side. Then you can use this verifiable information on whatever services you prefer. and this will be what will happen if we done this. Let me see. Screen here. Yeah. So on the left-hand side is how we use the internet now. And on the right-hand side is how we use internet if we have all those information being tokenized. So you can see the differences. Previously, if you want to use these individual services, the most common way is you use those services through a big integration platform. If you are living in China, then of course you know there's Alipay, there's WeChat, and they are super integration platform. You can use one application, one platform to do many things, and that's basically because they holding all those verifiable information. They can prove who you are, what you have done, and what you have to all those third-party services. And then those third-party services can provide service to you based on those information. This gave those centralized integration platform a very good position. So that's why they are growing bigger and bigger and bigger. But this is also on the same time user have a better user experience because they can do multiple things through one platform. But on the same time, this also creates problem. One problem is this type of integration have a ceiling. So that means it cannot do a limited integration. And also the services you can choose, it purely depends on what they have already integrated. For example, if you want to buy an insurance product from Alipay, then all the things you can choose from is those insurance providers who have already integrated into Alipay platform. But the services they integrated may not be the perfect service for you. And this also creates a huge problem for the server side, because the service side, because the service market is monopoly. All the service provider, they are not competing with each other on whether they provide good services to user. They are actually competing each other with whether they can be integrated into those big platform. So what will be the future of integration? So there will be a token layer for internet for all the services. And all those, as I mentioned before, all those tokens is controlled, is held on the user side. So this make each user can have their own integration platform. And the services they can integrate is unlimited. It purely depends whether they want a service provider to read their tokenized information or not, because they have what you have, who you are, what you have done, all in your hand. And if you want to use a service, you can provide this information to that service, and that service can provide services to you based on those information. So this is what we call the integration on consumer end. And to hold all these tokenized information, to interact with all these services, for users on the user side, you need to have this integration platform. Or you say you need to have this piece of software to help you to do this. And this is the future for crypto wallet. And this is after you have the integrate after this is what the futures looks like for e-commerce on internet. Previously, if people want to trade or want to buy stuff, sell stuff, they always need to go through a centralized market host. That host mainly provide two functions. One function is to match the buyer and the seller, to put all the information together, and more importantly, they acting as the trusted third party to host a transaction, which is the guarantee if Carol give money to James, then James will definitely give a product to Carol. And this can also be replaced by a blockchain-based market. There will be much less friction, and it will be a free open market. And all these things I shared here, it's not like we are still super far away from it. It is happening now. So even just with our team, we have done many of these experiments on tokenize different kind of informations, tokenize different tradable rights, tokenize your different kind of identifiers, and use it for different blockchain applications. So that's basically what I want to share today. And before we finish, I can quickly share with you what a future blockchain-based application looks like. Let me just share my mobile. Okay, you should be able to see my mobile. And this is Alpha Wallet, which we want to build into this integration platform for on the user side. That means that you can have all those tokenized information in one place, and you can use it on different services. And I just show you one application we did with it shows the power of integration, how integration happened on the user side, which is this car ownership token. This is an experiment we did with an electronic car company in US called Karma. So this is on the blockchain side. This is there's a smart contract on Ethereum network, and inside that smart contract, it registers the ownership of each car token, and also define the transaction rules of how this ownership can be transferred. And if you open up the token, you can see there's a whole bunch of different services integrated into this car ownership token. So basically, this becomes a car portal for user. In this start panel, you can prove your ownership to the physical car, and then the car will grant you access. And then you can do operations like open door, close the door, locate where's the car, start the engine, stop the engine, all these things. And in this attestation panel, you can prove your ownership to third-party service provider, like New South Wales Transport Department. Then you can claim a registration for your car. It's like showing here. It's an attestation issued by the New South Wales Transport Road and Marine Services Department. And also with this registration and your ownership token, you can prove to insurance you really own a car and you are legal to drive the car. Then you can easily buy an insurance from an insurance provider without sign up, without sign in, without copy paste. without scan your registration and submit it, without scan your driver license, without scanning your purchasing contract, all those things. And same with your ownership token, you can register the car services. And of course, with proving your ownership, you can use a whole bunch of smart contract-based services as well. Like you can list it in a smart contract for sale, you can list it in a smart contract for auction, you can list your car ownership in a DeFi contract for using the car as a collateral to borrow money. You can even put it in a Uber type of services to let your car earn some money for you, to share your car with other people. And of course, you can easily sell it, and you can easily transfer it. And all the sale and the transfer is happened right inside the smart contract. The deliverables payment is happened autonomously through smart contract without using any third-party host. So this is the future we see for what a crypto wallet can do. Okay, so that's all for today's sharing. And if you want to learn more, feel free to contact me on Twitter or drop me a message in email. Thank you very much. Thanks for attending this section. Thank you. Bye-bye.